Hey, everybody. I hope you're having a great week so far. Thank you again for all of your encouragement and your prayers. And I'm kind of amazed at all of the quality conversations this has led to. It's been quite surprising and refreshing. So, 20 days down and 5 to go for radiation. I'm excited about that. A few days ago, I was sitting in a waiting room waiting to go into my radiation treatment, and there was an older lady that was sitting there. She didn't look very comfortable. She looked a little stressed out, and I was about ready to start checking my email on my phone, and I thought, maybe I should say something to her. So I just looked at her and I said, "How are you doing?" And she kind of looked back with some stress in her eyes, and she said, "Well, I'm a little scared. This is my first time doing this." And so I thought, oh, well, maybe she needs to talk a little bit. "What are you having done?" And she had a scar on her forehead, and she said, "Yeah, I'm just doing it one time, but I don't know what to expect." I was able to give her some reassurance, and I told her that it's been a great experience for me. I haven't felt any pain. It goes really quick, and the gals are just really great to work with. So I think she really appreciated that. She did say thank you. That does help. So it was good. Give her a little bit of encouragement going into what could be a really stressful, tough time. Have you ever thought about how many potential interactions we have every single day that just seem to be so insignificant? Or maybe interactions with people that's just transactional and neutral? Or maybe the time that we spend serving others or being served by others? Maybe it's the barista making your coffee, or the cashier that's ringing up your groceries, or maybe it's the radiation tech that's helping you beat cancer. These are all people who keep the world running. These are three of the girls at the hospital that have been my radiation techs, and they've been terrific. So from left to right, their names are Peyton, MaKennah, and Emma. And there are a few other girls as well, but these are the three that have been with me most of all. And they're very good at their jobs, very technical. They take their job seriously. They're making sure everything is just right, and at the same time, they really make their patients feel welcome. And I've always looked forward every day to going in and just kind of touching base with them and talking with them. It's been fun. I also recognize that their job is tough. They have to do a very technical job, and they have to do it with excellence. But then at the same time, they also are serving people. They work with a lot of people that are sick, or maybe they're depressed, or maybe they're feeling a little hopeless or lost, and they care about their patients, and they do their best. And I kind of wanted to recognize that. I wanted to show up every day and be that guy with a friendly smile that might brighten their day a little bit every day too, because they do that for me. They also laugh at my dumb jokes. This week I've been thinking about the power of kindness, and how a simple smile or a heartfelt thank you, or just maybe a few kind words, can really change somebody's day. I wonder sometimes, how many of those opportunities, like the lady in the waiting room, that I miss because I'm, looking at my phone or distracted, or how often maybe I'm just focused on me. It's easy to overlook people, especially when we're in a culture that encourages us to put blinders on and mind our own business. I think there's a cultural trend of isolationism that's going on, and I know that COVID didn't help. It seems like there's so many people that are, surrounded by others, but yet they feel alone. And I know I've been through that before too, just having people around me, but yet just feeling disconnected. And it's a tough place to be. How often do we stop and truly appreciate people, or take the time to say a kind word of encouragement, or even learn their name? I've made a concentrated effort more recently to learn people's names. That's not always been easy for me, but I'm trying to figure out a good system to learn people's names, and try to use their name, because people love to hear their name. There's kind of a cultural name barrier that I've noticed. It's like, until you learn somebody's name, they can seem like just another stranger. I don't know if you've ever been in a group with one of your friends, and there's people there you don't know, and maybe there's a person there that you haven't been introduced to, and so you kind of ignore them a little bit, and maybe they ignore you, and then maybe the next time you see them, you get introduced to them, and then now you know their name, and it's like the ice has been broken, and now you talk with them every time you see them. But until that introduction happens, it's like you're just in a whole different place. It's like there really is a barrier. Humans are built for social interaction, even introverts or people that have a tough time in social situations. There's a direct correlation between positive social interactions and depression. There's also a negative feedback loop that perpetuates the problem. When you're lacking social interaction and you start to become a little bit depressed or withdrawn, that in turn makes you become even less interested in social interactions, and it tends to spiral. And somehow that loop has to be broken. Have you ever had a bad day and someone unexpectedly says something kind to you? It's like a breath of fresh air. It can make all the difference in the world. I think we can be that for other people as well. We don't know what kind of burdens other people may be carrying behind their smiles or frowns. Maybe that cashier just got some bad news, or maybe they're struggling with family issues, or just trying to figure out how to pay the rent this month. The Bible tells us in Proverbs, a person finds joy in giving an apt reply, and how good is a timely word. That's the power of a timely word. And the best part, we all have the ability to be that person for someone every day. This is my friend Deanna. I met her about maybe a year and a half ago at the drive-thru at McDonald's. One morning I was not in a very good mood, and I went through the drive-thru, and this gal Deanna was just so great. She had such a big smile on her face, and she was friendly, and she just kind of made my morning. She had really good customer service skills, and she just seemed to be loving life and very attentive to my needs at the time. I went back a few days later, and there she was again, just as peppy as ever, and I got to know her and talk to her a little bit over time, and after a while I found myself wanting to go through that drive-thru just so I could say hi to her and just ask her how her day's doing, because I knew she was going to do the same with me. I learned that she had been battling cancer for about the last 8 years, and yet she came to work every single day with just such a great attitude. I would ask her about that, and she would give me updates. She knew that I was writing a book, so she'd ask me every day how I was doing with writing my book. And it was just, we were just developing a really good relationship there. And I got a chance to sit down and talk with her some as well. And it's been great to learn about her story. I went into the lobby one day to buy some oatmeal and sit down for a few minutes, and she poked her head around the corner and she said, "I'm going to make your oatmeal. Do you trust me?" I'm like, "What? Sure." She goes, "Yeah, just trust me. I'm going to make it nice and special for you." So she made my oatmeal, and it was awesome. I'm not sure what else she did to it, but she put some vanilla in it. She put some cream in it. It was just way better than it normally would have been. I was able to share with her about a month and a half ago that I have cancer, and I saw her face just kind of drop. I could tell that she could feel my pain a little bit, and so we kind of have a little bit more of a connection. We talked a little bit more recently. I got to take her out for breakfast so we could talk about our stories, and it's just fascinating to watch this lady have such a positive attitude when the rest of her life is just really, really tough. She struggles in a lot of different ways, but yet every day she gets up and she goes to work with a smile on her face. And I asked her, "So what gets you up every day to go in and have such a good attitude when you have cancer? It's stage 4 cancer even." She said, "Well, my customers, you're the reason. You and a bunch of other customers, because you guys keep me going all the time." And I thought, man, that is so awesome. And that's true. And that's how she lives her life. She lives her life not thinking about herself, but really to serve other people and to make other people smile. She's very much an inspiration. What if we lived in such a way that every day we could refresh the lives of other people? Showing kindness in everyday life can be as simple as just looking at somebody and saying, "Thank you for what you do," or "I see how hard you're working and I really appreciate it," or "I come here because of you." It may be just enough to get people through the day.